of color that nature has instilled in every rough colored diamond. Therefore, certain colors are more rare than others, based on the unique geological conditions that occurred during formation in the earth. And this involves such things as impurity atoms, directional stress, heat, pressure, and even natural radiation, which all can occur in combination with each other. For example, the vivid orangish yellow that you see here, meaning it's yellow with a little tinge of orange, in this rough crystal is the result of isolated nitrogen atoms that were trapped in the diamond framework, in the carbon framework, and heated to a very specific temperature deep in the earth, causing this vivid, what we call a canary yellow color. Now, why is this important? Well, I'll tell you, it's important because if this same diamond was heated to a much higher temperature in the earth, which often happens, the nitrogen atoms are uncomfortable, and they immediately want to form groups, or what we call nitrogen aggregates. Well, the result is that this yellow diamond would be much paler, much lighter yellow in color. Therefore, my point is that the vivid yellow color you see here represents a much rarer set of physical conditions in the earth. Now, the inherent body color is also important because it is the basis or the foundation for the range of colors that it is possible for the diamond cutter to create and display with his or her skill in the face-up direction of a polished gem. So it follows that each body color has its own face-up color range. And now, to the extent that a collector or an investor can view the body color and then determine if the cutter has created the so-called best color in the face-up direction, the collector or the investor, if they can do that, is well on his or her way to establishing the desirability, the beauty, and ultimately the value of that particular colored diamond. Now here, for example, on this slide, we're looking at a rough pink diamond on the left, and we're seeing a polished pink diamond on the right. Incidentally, I always put a colorless diamond as a reference stone in my photos just to give your brain a visual frame of reference. Now, while the round pink diamond on the right is pretty, it is not the best choice that the cutter could make for this particular piece of rough. In this case, the cutter would be much better off to take that piece of rough and polish a fancy shaped stone, such as a pear shape or a cushion shape, in order to get the most strength of pink color into the face and thereby increase its value. So the inherent body color of every rough diamond is due to the unique geologic environments in which these diamonds were formed millions of years ago. Brown and pink colors result from a directional stress that was applied during the last stages of its growth. Yellow diamonds, as I just mentioned, are caused by the addition of minor amounts of nitrogen. Blue color is due to the addition of boron. Green color in diamonds results from the diamond having been in direct contact with a natural source of radiation for millions of years, which causes a subtle shift in the absorption of light, thereby causing a natural green color. And violet, which is an extremely rare color, is caused by slight amounts of hydrogen that are mixed in with the carbon. Now here we are looking at a selection of rough colored diamonds from the island of Kalimantan, formerly known as Borneo. Now, in order for a rough colored diamond to be considered a true gemstone, a valuable commodity, and a valuable collector's item or an investor's item, it first must be polished. Now here we're looking at an extremely unique photograph of 4 rough colored diamonds in the top row, and they're all next to 4 polished colored diamonds of nearly similar color. From left to right, you have a pink, green, yellow, and blue specimens. Now the cutting and polishing process is very labor intensive and requires a great deal of skill and patience. Now right here in this photo, we're looking at a diamond being sawn in half. Now while there are many diamond cutters throughout the world who polish colorless diamonds, there are very, very few cutters who have the knowledge and the skill to polish colored diamonds. This is because polishing a colored diamond requires more than just making the diamond brilliant. It requires that the cutter uses his or her talent to bring the best color into the face-up direction with the least amount of weight loss. Now on this slide, we're looking at a 12-carat, fancy, intense, yellowish green. It's green with a little bit of yellow in it on the right. which was polished into a rectangle shape with a radiant style cut. And on the left is the other half of that rough crystal after it was sawn in half. Now, by photographing the rough and the cut stone side by side, you can now get a better visual idea of what the cutter does to improve the color in the face-up direction through cutting. The colored diamond cutter is literally an artist. Someone who is constantly experimenting with working and reworking the position of a minimum of 58 tiny flat facets, and in some cases more than 100 facets on the surface of a diamond. It is the cutter's unique talent which allows them to understand how the position of these tiny flat facets can influence the mosaic of reflected colors which are seen in the face-up direction. And this requires years of skill and patience. This is because the cutter's job involves creating maximum beauty and maximum color strength in the face-up. Now, right here on this slide, we're looking at the largest pink diamond that ever has come from the Argyle mines in Australia. Now, this gem right now weighs 4.03 carats, just a little over 4 carats. And recently, it was just graded as a fancy, vivid, purplish pink. So it's a pink diamond with a little purple in it. However, when this stone was originally offered for sale to a private audience at the Argyle tender in the year 2000, it actually weighed a little more. It weighed 4.15 carats. And at that time, it was graded fancy, intense purplish pink, a little weaker in color in the face-up. So what's so interesting, my point is that the person who bought this stone in 2000, after looking at the inherent body color, they figured they could improve the face-up color strength and get a fancy, vivid purplish pink out of this stone by recutting it with only a minor loss in weight and improve the value significantly. So as a collector or an investor, you will understand that I'm using, in this case, vivid purplish pink as just an example here. And that every single colored diamond, regardless of its inherent body color, exhibits a unique mosaic of reflected colors in the face-up direction due to the skills of an experienced diamond cutter. In other words, someone who knows how to manipulate the light rays inside a diamond in a certain way in order to create a miniature work of art in the face-up direction. Now, if done properly, every polished colored diamond is like an artist's canvas, exhibiting a complex color scene that the diamond cutter created for the eyes to see, the brain to interpret, and the emotions to appreciate. Let me repeat that. If done properly, every polished colored diamond is like an artist's canvas, exhibiting a complex color scene that the diamond cutter created for the eyes to see, the brain to interpret, and the emotions to appreciate. In this fine example of a fancy, vivid yellow diamond, pure yellow, the stone is from South Africa. It has been polished into a modern radiant style cut, but what I want you to notice is I want you to take a look and wrap your mind around the strength and the purity of yellow color in that stone. Also take a look at the distribution of color and the pattern of color, and also take a look at the artistic quality of the beautiful mosaic of vivid yellow reflections seen in the face-up direction of this gem. Now, as I have often said in conversation or in my writings, that studying colored diamonds is like working on a giant puzzle. It's a puzzle that is never really completed, and it is one that cannot be learned in any other way except through repeated exposure to new and different stones. Now, as you can see in this photo, there are so many different colors in which natural diamonds occur, and on top of this, within each color variety, there are literally